right, peeps. We got a little bit of a late start, and I do apologize for that, but we are here. We are live. And, you know, I totally forgot to do is I forgot to open up all those other damn windows. I forgot to change the damn show title, everything. I'm slipping, bro. It's just been that kind of a week.
I hear you.
Where the hell is my restream at? Right there. There's my login.
The name of this town, man, every time I see it, it just, I laugh to myself.
Yeah?
I could not, you probably could not pay me to live here just because of the name. I could not tell people that I lived in this town.
And what name would that be? Good sir.
Cumming.
Oh, yeah.
Cumming.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
I'm from Cumming. Well, aren't we all?
That's true.
I couldn't live here. We're like, nope. Too many ways to get made fun of.
Can you imagine being born in there?
Where were you born? Cumming. Well, that's what happens before you're born. But where are you from? Cumming. We're all from Cumming.
All right.
Did you imagine the homecoming queen?
Coming high.
she's the coming queen. I'll bet she is.
King.
Yeah, it's too many jokes for this place. Couldn't live here.
All right, let's see here. Twitch.tv. Go to the channel. We are there at the channel. Oh, I see Ed and Bloodluster and Nixie and Zeke and Searchy. This is a romper room, man. Alright. Zeke is in chat. Nixie, Ednator, Bloodluster. I'm not sure who Bloodluster is. Bloodluster's a new name. I haven't seen that name before. So, but anyway, this is the beginning of Season 3. We have started a new season, peeps, and here we are at Episode 1. Now, Murder, did we want to talk about what we were going to talk about today, or are we going to do it next week?
What are we talking about?
100th show. You want to do that next week?
We can give a little teaser to it this week if you'd like, and then we'll have details next week.
Details next week? Okay, yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
We give a teaser to it,
All right. So for the 100th show, we're giving something away. Bam, teaser, done.
Yeah. It's not
It's not some chintzy little trinket.
It's not a yay $2 game code that we got off Humble Bundle.
It's not a Kingwin game key either.
It's not a used condom or nothing like that.
Yeah, because that'd just be gross.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me, it is worth it.
So Ed said, me and my girlfriend are going to hear you guys while we watch Stranger Things Season 1. So you're going to go watch our first show?
Yeah, really. I'm going to watch the whole first season.
Oh, so actually, Zeke, that would be a good one. That would be a good one. Because Zeke said, laugh out loud, let me guess, Chris is going to show his face, huh?
Yes, but usually my mom would say I was showing my ass, but whichever you want to call it.
Yeah, ass face.
Either
whatever.
One, whatever you want to call it, you can kiss it. I don't mind.
Ew, just not on the lips. Oh my god. So anyway, peeps, we are looking at doing a giveaway on our 100th show, and that's not too far off. It's not too far off, but on our 100th show, we will be doing a giveaway. All the details and stuff will come next week. So just everybody stick around next week. Come and bring your friends. Let all your friends know, and bring them all on in. Get them to be followers of the show and stuff.
Yep. Like I said, it's worth it. It is not a game giveaway. It's not. Let's put it this way: it's not your usual giveaway that you'll see streamers do. So.
Yeah, definitely.
You may win a car if I can get a hold of Oprah. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I
like
would hold my breath. Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be freaking probably one of those Hot Wheels or some stupid shit.
Yeah, I'll give you a Matchbox car, whatever car you want. No, but it'll be worth it. Bring a lot of people. We need a lot of participation between now and the 100th show.
Yes.
I promise it will be worth it. Tell everybody at work, tell all your friends, tell everybody at church, tell everybody, the strip club, wherever you like to go. If you tell them at the strip club, we need pictures.
No, he needs pictures. I don't need pictures.
I need pictures.
I don't need pictures. So you guys notice the background of the show is new. We've changed the background from season 1 to season 2, and then season 2 to season 3 now. So we're going to have all these different backgrounds for all the different seasons. My start screen is still generic. I had a very hard time trying to get the start screen the way I wanted it. It was just very, very difficult in After Effects to do certain things that's supposed to happen, but you can't get them to happen. So, but hopefully I'll have it situated next week for the new season here. But first things we're going to talk about is that we have only 2 things this week to talk about as far as has to deal with technologies and stuff like that. After that, then we're just going to take questions from you guys, answer them the best we can, and then we'll go on to maybe what we've seen in the gaming world that has led us to do one thing or another, whether playing a different game or trying a different game or something. But the first thing we're going to talk about is called the solar gaps. Excuse me. And solar gaps is a Kickstarter that Chris had brought up to us, and I'm going to transition that one in. Bam! Look at that clean little transition. And these are solar panels, basically, in mini blinds. Chris brought this up to me. You know, he just like dropped it in there, and I read it, and I was like, "Oh, whoa, hey, that's actually really cool." Now, practical applications for people who are renting, obviously, as you can see here, it says, you know, solution is for those who can't rent, or who can't or don't want to install rooftop solar panels because they're renters or something like that. These would actually be a cheaper alternative to installing solar panels on your buildings if you have renters and stuff like that. The goal for these guys was 50,000, and they reached 102,000 on their pledges with only just 331 backers. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
All right, so what was it? That one's no longer available. There's 17 of those. Okay, so there are the different supports for it, and there's the 39 or more. There's 2 of those different ones, 180 or more, 249 or more, 390 or more. There's 2 of those. There's a 540 or more, a 735 or more. That's 2 735s, 1125. There's 2 of them. 1370, 1370, 1900. Wow, they're just way up there. As far as how much you want to give them. All right, so there are different pledges, and there's down to the small $39 ones all the way up to a couple of thousand by the looks of it. And what this is, they are, as it says, solar panels inside mini blinds, and they will give you enough energy to, as far as the small blinds are concerned, they'll give you enough to charge your USB chargeable devices like cell phones, tablets. What else is there USB charging? I can't think of anything else that you would charge with a USB. What do you think, Murder? What else? Did we lose Murder?
No, I'm here. I had to get out and talk to somebody.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was saying,
I don't want to interrupt the show having to do, trucking stuff.
No, I got you. I was telling them that they could use these because there's different pledges, the tiers to pledges, and it's all the way down to $39, all the way up to a couple of $1,000s. But the smaller ones can charge your USB devices, like your cell phone, your tablets, and I was trying to think of some other things that you would charge with a USB. Your little battery chargers, the little sticks of the battery, they use USBs to charge themselves up.
Yeah, you could do that.
But you're looking at, they could generate up to 70 watts on the light, small, 10-foot squared solar blinds, it could do up to 70 watts of renewable energy, no matter what the walls or windows exact dimensions are. So whatever they have to build it for to make it fit, obviously it would have to be a specific size in order for them to get that particular wattage. It automatically tracks the sun and adjusts positions to get the best angle for charging. We haven't gotten to the nitty-gritty of what's in there. Oh, like gaming headphones, Bluetooth style things. Yeah, you're right. Wireless speakers, yep, those use that kind of stuff. So, but as you can see, they're kind of going through some pictures here of what these look like, and they don't look like they're cheaply built by any stretch of the imagination.
They look pretty decent. They look pretty decent. I like the auto tracking feature of them, so that they, you don't have to go and turn them a little more and turn them a little more. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, but if you want to go ahead and just close them all the way, then you could do that. You have that option, so that would be a good thing to do. Now it says we engineered solar gaps with features designed for renters, homeowners, and small businesses to affordably reduce energy usage, create renewable energy, and transition to energy independence with a DIY or a do-it-yourself plug-and-play for people who rent homes and stuff like that. You got the energy generating from the built-in solar panels can generate up to 100 watts to 150 watts per 10 square feet or 1 meter square of window, enough to power 30 LED light bulbs or 3 MacBooks. Now, 30 LED light bulbs is that's a lot of light.
I would say that's pretty decent amount of power.
Mm-hmm. And you figure, like I have a few LED bulbs throughout my office and my kitchen, and I have 3 of them above in my ceiling fan in the living room, and they put out some serious light. And there's only one diode, one LED diode in each one of the ones in the living room in the ceiling fan, and the other ones I think have 3 in them. And so that's what we got: 3, 6, 9, 12, 12 and 15, and 3, so 15 and 15. So we have 30 diodes, 30 LED diodes. So I know that this thing could just power the lighting in just the living room, kitchen, and the office area here. Now, let's see here. In addition to generating solar energy, the window blinds also save energy by shading your home's interior and reducing air conditioning cost up to 80%. But that also you got to take in consideration too is where are you losing energy? Through your windows, through your doors. You have to seal all that kind of stuff up in order to see these numbers. You're not going to just put it in and it automatically offset, your air conditioning bill because you have window leaks. this doesn't fix that. This is not a fix for any of those kinds of things. These are just to produce extra power that your house does not have to produce, or that you don't have to get from the electric company. And energy surplus can either be stored in a battery or can easily be sold to your electric company as green energy through a two-way meter they provide.
Good luck with our power company.
Duke Energy actually does have that feature. Duke Energy does have that feature. If you can prove to them that you can produce enough power in excess, they will put a two-way meter in and honor that agreement. Huh. They really will. They really will. As much as I don't like Duke, that is something that they would do. That is something that they would do.
I don't know, get me one of those water turbine ones that we talked about before.
Yep. And just hook it up to the house
and let Duke start paying me.
Yeah. Because if you could produce enough just to power the house, I mean, during the day you probably wouldn't use as much of it as you would, say, at night, or it might be even an offset. Yeah. It might even be an offset, really, if you think about it. From night to day, you have the differences of more light you're using at night and cooking versus air conditioning at night, or heating at night and heating during the day, or air conditioning during the day. So there's like an offset that you would probably run into. But either way, I mean, if you could produce enough electricity with these mini blinds that you can ultimately offset your electric bill, then so be it. I mean, electric bills are starting to get ridiculous, and because electric companies are monopolies, you don't see two electric companies in the exact same area.
Yeah.
There's one, and then where that one ends, there's another one that's probably on the other side of the road or something like that, but they don't cross over because they don't have their power lines on the other side. So you're not going to have two electric companies being able to go to one house. Most towns, it's, you've got this or you've got nothing. So if you could stick it to them, stick it to them. The smart features easily integrates with smart devices like Google Home. Oh, Jesus Christ. Google Home, Echo, Nest thermostat, and more to control by voice, temperature, or by smartphone app.
It's Grimm's favorite spying devices.
Yeah, right? Oh, here they have a live chat if we want to have to ask questions. I didn't see that before. Open up a live chat, say, hey, we're doing a show on this thing, and we would like to pick your brain. The obvious solution for those who can't or don't want to install expensive rooftop panels in renters. Quick overview. It's a 30-second video. I'm going to go ahead and play it, so sit back, relax for 30 seconds.
Solar Gaps is an all-in-one solution. You simply plug in your smart blinds and solar energy starts to power all devices at home. Plus, you can charge any home battery storage you want to use and use a small internal emergency battery whenever you want.
Okay, so that was pretty quick and to the point. They did show them charging up a smart car in that little 30-second video. And they did show it charging up a wall battery pack as well. which means I could see being done. If they were to put one of those, put a battery pack in your back closet or in your garage or wherever you have that battery pack, you can ultimately during the day save up all that electricity and then just use it at night instead of using any of it during the day.
Yeah, so I was just thinking when you mentioned the wall battery pack. Let's say you had the money and you built a new house. Now, assuming you have the money for all of this, if you put what we talked about before, the Tesla roof tiles on that house, which comes with a battery pack or 2 or 3, however many you need, and put these in your windows, you could probably go completely power company free.
I could see that happening. And ultimately, you could be power free.
These would also go into the battery packs. And
if they put in a two-way, or they put a two-way, in, they would be able to sell off some of their power as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like I said, that's assuming you have the money to do all of it.
Yes, true.
To put all this stuff in. But you could go completely free of the power company. Or, like Grim said, sell your excess back to them. Then you don't owe the power company anything. They'd be paying you every month.
Yep. And that ultimately, like I said, if you could stick it to them, stick it to them. I mean, I would. Yeah. During the day, if my batteries are completely charged and I'm just using a bare minimum amount of that power, I would definitely be like, making sure that damn meter was running backwards.
Yeah.
And then Sergi said smart homes. Yeah, smart homes would be using this. I could see something like this. Now, this is going all conspiracy theory, because that's who I am. But, I could see this after the world kind of comes to a point where everybody's bombing everybody and there's no real power generation plants around. Everybody's fending for themselves when it comes to electricity. And nobody's using generators anymore because, fuel is too scarce to be doing that with. People are going to go to things like this to power their homes or to power, whatever they're powering.
Oh, yeah.
I could see it. I could see something like this. And, desperation is, the mother of all inventions. Get desperate enough for something, you will science the shit out of it, as the Martian, what's his name's character in The Martian said. I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this. I love that saying. That is so damn funny.
Oh, Matt Damon?
Matt Damon, that was his name, yeah. Okay, so right now their current goal, stretch goals, is at 500,000 to expand more colors. Right now they're looking at just having black and silver. By replacing your current window treatments, I hate it when people do that. They say window treatments. It's not a damn treatment. It's not sick. It's not got, herpes. You're not treating it for anything. It's a window covering of some sort. You're covering up the ugly ass windows. Or you're covering up the windows so you can't see the ugly person outside or that person outside can't see your ugly ass. One of the two, it's not a treatment. I'm sorry, it's not a treatment. I hate when these DIY shows have these people coming in and we're going to do a window treatment. The window's not sick, people. It don't need damn treatments. Oh, I hate it when people say that kind of shit. Oh, it irritates the shit out of me. Makes me want to smack them.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that too, this motherfucker. I hate that damn saying too. God. As you guys can tell,
I even found you a T-shirt that has it on.
Yeah, I seen that, and I was like, I seen it, and I just shook my head, and I was like, that son of a bitch. All right, so yeah, solar energy producing window shades. You replace your current window accessories with solar energy producing window shades, and you can save up to 70% on your electric power bill by adding solar gaps to essentially pay for themselves over time. And that's the one thing, is you've got to have the money to invest first into something like this. Because these things aren't cheap. Solar panels are not cheap. I mean, you can make them and you can put them wherever you want, but ultimately they're really not that cheap to put together and up and running. They're just not. Let's see, the founder, I am not going to pronounce his first name. We're just going to call him Eric. Was in charge of building eco-friendly houses and installing blinds in office buildings when he had the idea of solar blinds, and that's just how solar gaps came across for him. So, you know, he took two things, put them together, and created one thing out of it. After researching the sun tracking characteristics of a sunflower plant, Eric then experimented with ways to replicate the self-adjusting movements automatically in his blinds. And pretty much it's just a light tracker, and the light tracker just follows the light. So, you know, it wasn't, he had to do a lot of things. But all right, so we have a breakdown on prices here. All right, so for small, you're looking at about $390 or more. And with that, you get a 32 by 36, a 36 by 36, or a 38 by 38 height and width panel that will come to you, which is 10 square feet for the 38 by 38, 9 square feet for 36 by 36, and 8 square feet for the 32 by 36. The medium one, 735 or more. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 9. There are 9 different sizes for that. And some of these, like the 32 by 60, is sort of kind of like some living room front windows in houses are 32 by 60 on average. In your larger homes, the 32 by 84 is a really common size. The 72 by 36, that's, 6 foot tall window. That's your bay windows when you're looking through a living room or into some sort of what we call a Florida room or a sunroom. The 6 foot tall by 3 foot wide is a common. So they have different sizes, which would give you relatively more power for your house. Large windows, 60 by 72, 48 by 84, 60 by 60. Basically, square footage. What's that?
I say 60 by 60. That's a blanket.
Yeah, no shit. For
you
short
just
people.
Lay outside and cover yourself in solar blinds.
Yeah, for short people. Now it's you can see that progressively the square footage goes up. You know, it goes from 8 to 9 to 10 to 11 to 12, 13, 4, there's no 14, jumps to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, jumps to 24, 25, jumps to 28, jumps to 30, 31, jumps to 35, 36, and then jumps to 40. So it looks like 40 is the biggest they make, and that's the extra large 72 by 80 windows. So that's pretty big. That's a good decent size, and that runs roughly about $1,900 or more. It says there. Now they do offer bundles by the looks of this. One small, one medium for $1,125 or more. One medium, one large for $2,105 or more. One small, one medium, one large for $2,495. And then solar blinds and quantities up to 108 feet is $4,895 or more. Now, we're down to the energy generation. The photovoltaic cells generate electricity to power devices, store in a battery, or to sell to your electric company. These systems produce the most power during the day, obviously, because at night it's not going to produce the power.
Yeah.
When the demand and price for energy or electricity is higher. Once installed over a window, inside or outside, so you could do this either inside or outside, the smart blinds with built-in solar panels can generate up to 100 watts of energy per 10 square feet of a window, which is enough to power 30 LEDs or 3 MacBooks, like they said before. So you figure for every 10 square feet, you're looking at roughly 100 watts. So for this one that's 40 square feet, you're looking at about 400 watts, which is the biggest one they got situated right now. A 3-room apartment with windows facing south will be able to produce up to 600 watt hours, or basically 400 kilowatts per day. In an office or retail space, you can generate up to 10 times more. That is a lot, Chris. That's a lot. I mean, with a 3-room apartment with the windows facing south, you can produce up to 600 watt hours, or 4 kilowatts per day. I mean, that could really, that doesn't seem like a lot, but if you look at what you use during the day, that could offset some, not a lot, but some of your AC bill or your heating bill.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that could save you quite a bit. Now it says here, will you consume, sell, or store your power? And any energy surplus that you generate can either be stored in a battery or sold to the utility grid, allowing you to take advantage of peak loads and daily fluctuations in electricity usage, meaning when people are using more power, and if you're selling it to the electric company, you could ultimately be getting more money than when it's at not peak hours. So ultimately, you could situate yourself where every so often you would be using some peak hour electricity, but not a substantial amount like somebody else who does not have this device.
Yeah.
And then it says here, selling to the grid, obviously you need a two-way meter from the utility company, and you can sell your surplus energy by supplying it to the power grid during the day when the demand and price is higher. Now, supposedly it has smart features. Let's see what those are. Automatic and self-adjusting. To absorb as much solar energy as possible, Solar Gaps automatically adjusts the angle of the panels to follow the sun's position. You can set up Solar Gaps to match your own schedule and needs. For example, the blinds can be set up to automatically open when you want to wake up or close at a predetermined time. Solar Gaps can even open automatically when someone enters a room to keep your house bright inside, meaning you won't be using as much light inside the house if you have your blinds open. Whereas for me, I've got tinfoil on one window here in the office because the sun comes in and it makes shit hot in here. So, and the only light that we have on in here 9 out of 10 times is my light for streaming. And that's it. In the living room, we've got blockout panels and busted mini blinds because of the freaking cats in the living room. And then in each of the boys' rooms, theirs are busted because, they're as bad as cats when it comes to mini blinds and sticking their heads out the damn blinds and grabbing a hold of the blind and looking down at it, ripping it down so they can see what's going on outside instead of just moving it to the side. But we use blockout panels, and we really don't turn on that much light in the house. I mean, hell, you would think vampires lived here.
That's the opposite of my house. When the oldest one's home from college, it can be the brightest part of the day outside, and she's walking through turning on every light. I can't see.
Yeah, I here in this house, we really don't turn on a lot of lights until nighttime, and then the boys will turn on the living room light, and then they turn on the hallway light, and they leave the shit on when they go to bed instead of turning it off. So when I'm out here and I'm shutting this shit off, I don't know how long it's been on, and I'm sitting out here and I'm shutting these damn lights off. In the hallway, we have an LED little night light that plugs into the wall, and it goes on when the lights go out. So it has, it comes on and it puts out enough light that you can see from one end of the hall to the other end of the hall, and it's running one little LED. So I don't get kids anyway. You love the cats and the boys. The boys, yeah. The cats, not so much. Those little fuckers. They peed on my shoes.
Cats are only good for one thing. Sushi.
Dog food?
Or dog food.
Alright, so it says here with the internet connected apps, Solar Gaps can utilize information such as weather forecasts to generate energy more efficiently. Solar Gaps connects to our app via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, allowing basic controls to raise or lower the blinds, change the angle, and display how much energy is being generated. That's kind of a neat little feature of an app, to be able to know how much you're generating by just kind of looking at the app, so you don't have to go over and if the little monitor on the wall doesn't give you any kind of indication, then you're like, well, how much am I using? And then you got to bring out the amp clamp and click the amp clamp on there and look at it and say, okay, well, I'm generating this. Just use the app. The app will tell you. Voice-controlled commands to open and close, etc., etc. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of that kind of shit. Never have been. When it comes to this stuff, I'm not a fan of that stuff. So, but you can use your Google Home and other ones that they had mentioned up above to use it. Nest Thermostat, that was the name of the other one. Ecobee, Smart Things, Philips Hue are stretch goals for them. So as they get more and more funding, they can add more and more features like having the Ecobee, Smart Things, Philips Hues to use. Right now they have Google Home, Amazon Echo, and Net Thermostat. Those all are actual set up right now as is. Yeah, there's just no way. They'd open up the blinds at the most inopportune time. There's just no way. I wouldn't do it. Okay, so it says here, limited quantities at 52% off retail at the moment. I mean, you know, it's like with any set of mini blinds, really, is what it looks like. Just put a couple of screws up in it. They probably have screw holes that you can just pop some screws into it, put it up in, and plug it in. So it says here, simply mount the solar gap on the wall over your window using the brackets provided, or install them on the outside of your home. Then plug the solar gaps into the power outlet and lower your energy bills by feeding electricity back to the grid. Any energy surplus can be stored into batteries or sold to your power utility. That's kind of repeating exactly what they've been saying. Let's see here. Well, we already know that it gives you anywhere between 100 to 150 watt hours per 10 square feet. They've been saying that for a while. The outer shell of the solar gaps is made of a very strong and durable aluminum, tested with air gun. Solar gaps is unmatched on the market today when it comes to protecting your windows from poor weather conditions, i.e. storms. It is built for all climates. Solar gaps can operate perfectly in a wide range of temperatures between -40 to positive 176 degrees Fahrenheit, or, for our friends across the pond, -40 to positive 80 degrees Celsius. It does come with a 25-year lifespan warranty, and they are customizable, so you can get them designed to fit a lot of your different windows.
So my question is, if you mount them, say, outside your window, it says that it's capable of operating in wide range of temperatures and all sorts of climates. How does it hold up in, say, a hailstorm?
I don't think it does.
So I would be a little iffy in my area, where I live at least, to
leave it outside.
Put them on the outside of the windows. But you would get more unobstructed, unfiltered sunlight if you put them outside rather than inside, because most new windows have a slight tint to them anyway.
Yes. And most of your new windows are gas filled with like a...
so it's blocking a little bit of just a little bit of the light.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but a little bit. But so it would be better to mount them outside, but how do they hold up against not just temperatures, but harsh weather such as hail, high winds if it's blowing stuff around, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I just could not see... I just can't see them being placed outside. And from my standpoint, I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, the way that these come packaged here, peeps, is you got this guy purchased 4, and you can see they come prepackaged already. Just looks like it's ready just to be plugged into the wall and installed and ready to go. So it looks like it's something that could be relatively easily plug and play. So an idea was born in summer of 2015. The drawings were, I guess, not completed, but, conceptual drawings were started in fall of 2015. January of 2015, concept research and named the product. March of 2016, the design engineers were on board. IoT Hub Accelerator program was started. Mechanical engineers were on board. This is all in 2016, so they've spent quite a few years situating this, getting this set up. And they said by December of 2017 they were shipping to backers.
To backer?
To the backers. That's what it says. Now,
my uncle used to grow tobacco.
Tobacco?
Yeah.
Now, trying to go. All right, so they received 102,000 with 331 backers. They only wanted 50,000 for their goal. When did they? Did this one already end? Doesn't look like it. I wonder if they're still running that Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
But this is their actual website right here, solargaps.com. They have 445 customers who have pre-ordered Solar Gaps. They have 30 distributors. And there are 13 countries with Solar Gaps installed.
Already installed?
Yeah, 13 countries already using them.
They must have already ended the Kickstarter.
They must have. But it doesn't say that the Kickstarter was ended yet.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is every time that I see that we do a show about something that has to do with tech and stuff, it always shows up in my news feeds for Facebook. When we do shows on these different products, it shows up in my Facebook and news feeds. That's because they're spying on us.
Yeah, really.
They are spying on us. All right, so we're going to switch gears up a little bit. Solar panels, yes, are obviously good. The solar panels with access by AI, not so much. But this does look like a great product. And if you guys want more, I'm going to copy and paste their web address in here. If you guys want to, you go right ahead and hit them up. Look at what they have to offer. I mean, even if you are renting, you can install one of these. It's not like it takes a lot to get these installed. And it does plug into your wall outlet. So all you got to do is put your box on the wall and drop it down into the outlet. You plug it in, and the power starts flowing through your house. All right, so next thing we're going to talk about, and I can appreciate this one thing, is New York is ordering Charter Communications out of the state of New York if they do not comply with their takeover contract. Now, I found this. I didn't find it, I should say. Searchy found this, and it's on Slashdot. But this happened at the end of July. This is what was, posted at the end of July here. And it says, yesterday it was reported that Charter Communications could lose its license in New York because of its failure to meet merger-related broadband deployment commitments. And then they go on to say that today, according to ARS Technica, the New York State Public Service Commission voted to revoke its approval of Charter Communications' 2016 purchase of Time Warner Cable. And then the PSC, or the Public Service Commission, said it was ordering Charter to sell the former Time Warner Communications, or Time Warner Cable system that it purchased in New York, and it's bringing an enforcement action to the state Supreme Court to seek additional penalties for Charter's past failures and ongoing non-compliances. Their report states, and now this was posted by Bo HD, where they got the information, it does not have it on here, so I do apologize for that. I can't find anything else on this, but I didn't dig very deep on it. But I will do that for you guys, and I will have links and stuff like that for you guys to actually read about this coming up next week. So, the report states that Charter has repeatedly failed to meet deadlines for broadband expansions that were required in exchange for merger approval from state officials, or the state officials said. The Public Service Commission, or the PSC, has steadily increased the pressure on Charter with fines and threats, but Charter never agreed to changes demanded by the state officials. And as a result of today's vote, which this was posted on the 27th, so this more than likely was the 26th, the Thursday of last month. As a result of today's vote, Charter is ordered to file within 60 days a plan with the Commission to ensure an orderly transition to a successor provider. During the transition process, Charter must continue to comply with all local franchises it holds in New York State and all obligations under the Public Service Law and the Commission's regulations. Charter must ensure no interruption in service is experienced by customers, and in the event that Charter does not do so, the Commission will take further steps, including seeking an injunction relief in Supreme Court in order to protect New York customers. Now, the 5 types of misconduct that the Commission cited to support its decisions include companies' repeated failures to meet deadlines, Charter's attempts to skirt obligations to sever rural communities, unsafe practices in the field, failure to fully commit to its obligations under the 2016 merger agreement, and the company's purposeful obfuscation of its performance and compliance obligations to the Commission and its customers. I personally like the fact that the state is stepping up and forcing Charter to do what it said it was going to do, enforcing a merger deal stipulation. And because they're not, they're going after them. They are hitting them really hard and eventually going to force them out if they don't do what they're supposed to. So if they're gonna force them to sell themselves off in New York, you can probably see a small mom and pop operation ending up with this big contract with everything already in place. All they got to do is just keep up with it. What do you say, Murder?
I don't know about a mom and pop. I mean, they're not going to let it go dirt cheap.
Oh, no, but I mean, I'm just saying, you know, mom and pop being somebody not as big as Time Warner, not as big as Charter, not as big as like Verizon or Frontier or Spectrum. Not as big as those guys. That's what I was talking about.
Charter and Spectrum are the same.
Are they?
Yeah. Charter is Spectrum. Spectrum is Charter. I don't know who bought who, whatever, but yeah, it's the same thing.
Red pill, blue pill, whatever.
I would, I don't get that one, but okay. I would see another big one possibly trying to come in and take it, you know, like Verizon or somebody, and say, you know, hey, we can do what they couldn't, because they would probably get it cheaper than what Charter had to pay for it.
Yeah. Red pill, blue pill is, you know, either you wake up and you remember nothing, or you go deeper into the rabbit hole. Red pill, blue pill.
Oh, yeah,
that's all that is.
Yeah, it's from the Matrix.
Yes.
I don't know.
It had to do techie. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I'm a geek.
But I like the fact that, you know, a big company like that, you know, they usually think that they run everything. We do it our way. You don't have a choice. It's being put in their place, you know, knocked down to size, having to realize you don't control everything.
Exactly. I would like to see other states really put the screws to these companies that buy up other companies, and not even just tech companies, but just other companies. Somebody buys a company, there's a contract that they say they're going to do a certain thing. And I would like to think that all the companies are doing what they're supposed to, but we know that they're not. Yeah. And I would like to see the state step in and say, look, you said you were going to do this. You're not doing it. Either you get it done now, or you sell off the company to somebody else who will do the job. No ifs, ands, buts. Just find the shit out of them. Make them do what they're supposed to do. Because at the end of the day, it's really not Charter getting screwed over. It's the customer gets screwed over. And the state is saying, look, we have to protect our consumers who are using, you know, the public service. You know, they're using it. It's not like it's a private service, it's a public service. So I personally would like to see more states really jump in there and start putting foot to ass over this. I really would like to see this more and more. Especially with Charter. You know, or if Charter is Spectrum and Spectrum is Charter, I would like to see them really put the screws to Charter in other states. Like when they bought out Bright House here in the Tampa Bay area, they bought out Bright House, and the service went to hell when they bought them out. I'm not kidding you. Service went to shit. And the same thing goes for Verizon. Sold out to Frontier here in the Tampa Bay area. And the Verizon Fios is no longer Verizon Fios here. It is Frontier Fios. And Frontier is getting ready to hang it up and get rid of the Fios system. Get rid of the internet. They're going to leave the state, basically. Frontier is. So they bought up, used up, and are fixing to throw away all this revenue at the expense of the customers. And I hate seeing that. Customers get screwed over more and more every day by companies like Charter, by companies like Verizon, by companies like Sprint, by all these companies. They're constantly getting screwed over. And I wish there was more that, as a person, I could do to make sure that, the customers are being taken care of. They are getting what they paid for. Because, you're shelling out, if you're not on the low end at $100 or more, you're on the high end of spending on the business side $300 to $500 for internet, cable, and phone. And the customer's getting screwed. So, I personally like seeing this.
Yeah.
And I would love to see this all over the country. The states actually stepping in and making these businesses fulfill their contracts, basically. Fulfill their contracts the way that they said they were going to. Would you like to see them come into your state and do that? The state of South and North Carolina, putting foot to ass to Charter and companies like that?
Well, what they're doing in New York in particular, they couldn't do in my area. It's always been chartered. One of their main offices is in my area.
Okay, all right.
So there's no buyout contract to force them to, follow. But no, I would like to see them, have to straighten up, have to get their shit together, have to be more mindful of the customer and not so much, we're the king.
Yes, I totally agree with you there. Like we were saying about electricity, electric companies, they're monopolies in areas because they're the only ones in the game in your area. There's no one else.
Yeah. Cable companies get away with it, a little easier because you've got AT&T that has DirecTV, so satellites everywhere, so they can be like, oh, we're not a monopoly. You can always choose AT&T, which for most people, sure, that's maybe an option. But for us, it's like, look, we know DSL sucks.
Oh.
A lot of people know that satellite is not as reliable as cable because, you got to make sure you have a clear line of sight to the southern sky. Bad enough storm and you lose the signal. Even though they've gotten a little better, you still have that problem. So, it's an option, but for some people, it's really not an option. DSL sucks and you can't do shit on it. A lot of times. Not always, but a lot of times. And satellite just, you got equipment fees and all this and installation and blah, blah. No.
Yeah. I totally agree with you there. One of the things that when I lived in Utah, up in Roosevelt, Utah, we didn't have the option of having a cable company where we were at. Satellite really wasn't an option either. We had to use what they called radio waved internet, where they actually beamed radio waves over the mountain through repeaters just so that we could get internet. Because you had no cable companies out there. You had no, the power company that was out there was the Utah Power Company, and they're pretty much just like Duke. They own everything. So the power that was out there, goes over these transmission lines, for hundreds of miles before it even hits a substation. So during the winter, if you lost a power line, you lost power to the whole town. So, yeah, I mean, not being that guy that likes having government in everything that I do like to see the government at least step up to companies like Charter who make these promises and make them keep those promises.
Yeah.
If a company tells you they're going to do something and they don't do it, they should be held accountable for that. Just like if you and I said we were going to do something and we welched on it and people lost out, we would be held accountable for that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they should do for Charter is, hold them accountable, and they are the bad guy when it comes to this. They are the bad guys when it comes to this. Because they are not doing good things, they're only doing bad things. There should be a little bit more clarity, in my opinion, when there are mergers for companies the size of like Charter and Time Warner.
Yeah.
There should be more clarity so that even the customers know exactly what's going on. I mean, I would love to know that, hey, my company just got bought out, not a month down the line when my bill changes. The company on the name, name on the company bill just changes. Is like, what the? Wait a minute, hold on. That doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. Damn fly, get the hell on. In my damn way. Yeah, I mean, just more clarity. I would like to see more regulations or more sanctions against companies that, if they welsh in an area, they don't prosper in another area. You know what I mean? They don't just go and suck all the money from this area and say, you know what, we're not going to put it back into this area. We're going to suck it out of here and we're going to put it way over here where we know that people are already got us and we're just going to keep them happy, and to hell with these other people. We're just going to leech off of this one as long as we can, and then, whether they sell it off or they just close out completely, that's not a right way to conduct business.
Yeah. I agree.
So, but yeah, that article was found on slash.org. Sergi found it and sent it to us on our Facebook messengers. So when it comes to games, I noticed Murder, while he was home, was playing Neverwinter.
Yep.
So with the last updates that came with Neverwinter, also long ago, what are your thoughts on Neverwinter as that RPG game that back in the day when we played it, it was the greatest game ever. What's it now to you? Is it still one of the greatest games ever?
I was gonna say I started playing it years ago. And I played some on console, and it hit console. I was like, oh, that's cool. I can play on console now. But, I mean, ultimately went back to PC. I actually enjoyed it when I was home. I was playing it, 2 days ago or whatever. It was actually a little more fun. They've improved some things. They've balanced Some things they've balanced the attacks and the power. They've balanced the XP gain. They've fixed the companions. They actually do more of what you would think they would based off their description. So, like I chose the dog. So normally before, the dog didn't do a whole lot. It would hit some, didn't create much aggro, but didn't hit very hard. It was okay just to tick off a few points, while you're attacking stuff, but they've balanced it more. So the dog will actually may not hold aggro, but will pull aggro for a little bit. Will do more damage. So it's more of an actual pet.
Okay.
I also have there's a healer companion. He'll attack stuff, but he also throws heals. And before, it wasn't great. His attacks weren't great. His heals were, he may heal you, he may not. The heals aren't as good as I would like to see from the companion, but it's better than it was, and it keeps you alive a little better. And he does attack more often than before. So I think they've balanced that out pretty good.
That's good.
It's not, one thing I like about Neverwinter is it's not so much pay to win. It's not necessarily a pay for cosmetics only. I mean, there are some things you can get better mounts and stuff if you pay actual money, but
like vanity
they're not
things,
really,
though.
Yeah, exactly. Vanity type items. Hey, my mount runs faster than yours by 10% because I paid actual money for it. Okay, yay. I don't give a shit. You run 10% faster than my free mount does. Things like that. Outfits and things like that. I don't like the fact, like a lot of things that you can buy from their store, their market, or whatever, takes Astral Diamonds or Zen tokens or whatever. I couldn't find where to, like, if you want to use Astral tokens to get a better pet or Astral Diamonds, I couldn't find where to get them other than from other people on the market that are selling them for Zen tokens. And you can buy Zen tokens with Astral Diamonds. You can buy Astral Diamonds with Zen tokens. Where the hell do I buy either one of those for real money? I mean, like, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You spend real money to get Zen tokens, so now I can buy stuff with Zen tokens, or I can trade them for Astral Diamonds for the things that require the diamonds. Or I spend real money to get the diamonds so that I can, buy things worth diamonds, vice versa, trade them for things that are worth Zen tokens. But I couldn't see where you would start at, where you would spend real money to. Mainly my thing was a vanity mount. It wasn't the speed increase. It just looked really, really freaking cool. It looked like this almost demonic dragon with this bluish purple misty haze around it. It looked really badass. And I couldn't figure out where to spend real money to get the diamonds that I needed to buy the mount. And I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
save me some money, I guess. But
well, I mean, it's one of those things that, with a little bit of research, we probably figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's good. It's a free game. You don't have to pay for it. Like I said, you can play it on console. You can play it on PC. I prefer PC. But it's a good game. What made me think to play it again is Maria was streaming it. And I was like, oh, man, I ain't played that in a while. Let me check it out. So when I pulled it up, of course, it had like a some odd gig patch because I hadn't been on it forever.
Yeah.
And so I downloaded the patch, played the game, and then other than the 4.5 days beach vacation, once I came home, played it for a couple of days before I left. And so Maria reminded me of the game, and I was like, yeah, let me check it out. And they have improved it a little bit. So for a free game, I think it's worth it. you can play with people. They have PvP in it too, if you're, into PvP.
I mean, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool. But, I played Neverwinter back when Neverwinter was Neverwinter Nights, and it was single player.
Yeah. Before
it went multiplayer. That's when I played it, and that was so long ago. There is... I don't know if anybody played the game, but the game is No Man's Sky. Had the worst launch I have ever seen a game have. They lost a lot of money from people wanting their money back because the game was just so bad. The game was terrible. I played 40 minutes of the game and I put it up. I deleted it from my system, from Steam. But I didn't ask for my money back because I didn't buy it. My son bought it for me. And he plays on the PlayStation 4. And he enjoyed the game. But he's never played games like Elite Dangerous. And had he played games like Elite Dangerous or Empyrean, he would have been disappointed with that game, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I was gonna say to me, No Man's Sky was more like Empyrean, a cartoony version of Empyrean.
Yeah, well, and the thing is Empyrean, when it first started, it was just a mining simulation. There was really nothing else to the game when it first came out. And so it got boring kind of quick, but it was still a good game. No Man's Sky really wasn't the great game they said it was. It was an okay game with a lot of potential. Now, skip a couple of years now, and I, just for shits and giggles, I seen that it had updated, and it was like 2 gig update. I'm like, holy shit, it's got a big update. So I went through and I checked out online on YouTube some people who are starting to play the new patch of the game. And I found that people were saying that, there was a patch before that started making more content for it. And as the game progressed, I guess they started finding more and more things that they could build on, which now has the game at its current state, which is not bad. You can actually base build now. There are more engaging ways to play the game, like multiplayer with your friends, or you can join somebody else's game that happens to be out there. Just randomly join somebody else's. It's not like you can target another guy's game who you see playing it on Twitch. You can't just go out there and get in his game directly. You would have to be invited by him to get into your game. So I kind of can enjoy that, so you're not getting trolled all the time by people who maliciously on Twitch here go out of their way to make people miserable. So that was a good thing that I seen. The base building was great. The NPCs, there are more NPCs to interact with, to get a lot of different types of side quests with. Space pirates are in the game. There's just so much more in the game now, it makes it more interesting that you want to play it versus it was a couple of years ago when it was just horrendous and you didn't want to play it. But like with any game, it's not perfect. There's still a lot of improvements that need to be made. And like I said, that's with any game, there needs to be improvements. Now, improvements to me are not make it easier for me to go get this. I don't want that. When I say improvements, I'm talking if it has a memory leak, if it has a frame rate issue that you can fix, frames per second, if you could build up on the optimization of the game, do so. But don't make the damn game so easy that you really don't want to play it anymore. I mean, look at World of Warcraft has done this. Blizzard has, or Activision, not Blizzard, Activision has made it now that, I mean, farming for stuff or doing quests, you don't need groups of people anymore. You can go out there and manhandle anything from level 1. They've made it now that different areas, or I should say all your areas now scale in depending on the person in that area. As far as, your levels and stuff. And if you're at max level, then that area is at max level of what that area is. That kind of takes the fun out of the game when you go that route. When you make it so that it's a lot easier for those individuals who don't spend a lot of time in a game, that quick fix, that instant gratification. That's all they care about. That's not what World of Warcraft was built on. Diablo's getting like that. Cookie cutter builds inside of these games. You're taking away the things that I loved about World of Warcraft. So stop making these games easier. Let them be hard. Other people just have to nut up and get better. That's my personal opinion.
You do have those people that want to bitch and whine and complain because something's too hard and they can't play it. Even if you offer to help them, they still cry about it. And,
well, and that's
their panties and.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's like they added in the Pokemon aspect, pet battles, to get into the younger crowds.
Yeah.
And when they took away my talent tree, that's when they really screwed shit up for me. Activision, in my opinion, has not done anything good for Blizzard. In my opinion. When you had guys like, the original creators of Blizzard, they put their heart and soul into the games and creating these games and creating the story and the lore. And then you've got companies that come in and they just bastardize it like Activision does. Activision, in my opinion, has bastardized every game that they've ever put out. Every game. Even all the way back to the Atari games when Activision had Atari games. They've bastardized those games as well. They're as bad as Amazon. I can't help it, man. When people do shit that pisses me off and they don't fix it, they only make it worse. How can you praise them? how can you praise them for doing something if they're just going to bastardize something? That's like, that's like praising Charter for buying out Time Warner and them not doing anything.
I agree. I agree with you on some of it. They ruined the whole Blizzard World of Warcraft thing. It was better vanilla WoW.
Oh God, yes.
But to use another example that you used, the ones I don't agree with is and I know your love-hate affair with Amazon, but
yes,
I don't mind Amazon. I like them. I don't have a problem with them. I use them quite often. And but I mean, like we've always said before, everybody's entitled to their own thing.
Yes, they are.
I disagree with Amazon as an example. I agree with you on messing up. Diablo was better before. I think right about the time, and I mean the very beginning, when they first, and I mean just first introduced the real money market, was probably where people could sell stuff for the actual money.
Yes,
was probably the peak of Diablo.
Yes.
Then it went downhill. It was good at first. It was great. It was awesome. It's doing good. They started changing shit, and then it went to shit. Same with World of Warcraft. It was good vanilla. It was still kind of good. Burning Crusade. Then it just kind of It went downhill. Went to kids. It got too easy.
Yes, and I accepted that at that point when they brought out Lich King. I accepted that. And it was still good lore. And if you played any of the Warcraft games, like Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, and all of those, they still built upon that lore for, when they brought the Lich King in, and when they did that whole, the what can you call them now? The Forgotten, the Unforgotten, or the Unforgiven. I forgot the name of them now. But when they...
The one after Lich King?
No. In the Lich King, you had well, I don't know if they were called the Forgotten or the Forgiven or the Unforgiven or whatever the hell they... The Forsaken. There we go.
The undead guys.
Yes. When they started going away from game mechanics, when it took game mechanics to play the game, is roughly just about a year after the Lich King was released. They started.
Everything became too easy.
What's that?
Everything became too easy.
Yeah. I mean, with game mechanics, what I mean by game mechanics is you have parts of the game where it took a party of 5 to go through a dungeon. The healer had his job or her job. The DPS had their job. And the tank had his job. And everybody did their part in order to survive a dungeon. Now, I can go through a dungeon right now with my Demon Hunter, and I don't need a healer.
Yeah.
I can mitigate my damage in such a way that I need no healer whatsoever. Now, when I had I still have them, but when I played my Paladin, and I did dungeons with my Paladin, there were parts of dungeons where I would not survive those dungeons if I didn't have a healer. I mean, it's gotten to the point now that you can go in as any class that has a pet tank and do a dungeon by yourself. Warlocks, hunters, and most people who know how to play the Shadow Priests. They can solo dungeons right now. It just gets to being ridiculous that game mechanics has gone out the window, and you had to rely on what's the name of that mod now that you use during dungeons and raids? Deadly Boss mods. Deadly Boss mods.
Where it pops the thing up on the screen, tells you what's coming.
Yeah. There were times when that was what saved my ass more so than anything else. Nowadays, I could pretty much survive through almost anything, and Deadly Boss mods just doesn't help. Because the mechanics are not there anymore. And that's what Deadly Boss mods was, it was mechanics. You know, get the hell out of this area, because this is part of the mechanics where you're not allowed to be right here or you're gonna die. It's not like that anymore. You can stand there and take the full brunt of it and still not die. So this bastardizing of games, I don't appreciate how they've gone about it. And I know you like your games to be not hard, but
they like challenging is always nice.
Yeah, challenging. Challenging is what the game is about. Is challenging yourself and playing better. You know, play better. That's all there is to it. If you're a tank, tank and tank better. If you're a healer, heal. Then heal better.
Yeah.
DPS is just DPS. No, but DPS is important. Heals are important, and tank is important. And that's the way that the game should be revolving around when you build mechanics, is all of them working together to complete something. And there used to be a quest on the Alliance side that is now you could just solo it and not worry too much about it. It's just it's a joke. It's a joke quest. But it's Hogger. It's the Hogger quest. You used to have 3 people in the early game in order to defeat Hogger. Now, you can just go up to him, hit him a few times. You know, he throws a few ads out. You can burn them down pretty quick, and you can still keep hitting him and keep busting his ass. And then you really don't kill him. He ends up getting taken to the stockades, which is part of the first dungeons on the Alliance side. And then you fight him in there, and he's more of a boss like he was outside of when they first had him as a quest. But I would like to see them do something better this next go around. The expansion looks great and all, but they have to work on game mechanics. I mean, they've already broken the game. I don't know if you heard this or not, but they can't get the numbers correct in the mathematics for when you're fighting a monster, it's like the monsters have not been nerfed like you have been nerfed. They've nerfed everything down in numbers so that it's not in the millions anymore. It's down into the thousands and the 100,000s, and that's it. And when they did that, something broke the game in that coding that does not work with the monsters, with the bosses. The bosses' hit points, it takes, 12, 13% more time to beat them. I don't care about that. It doesn't bother me. I kind of enjoy it because it means I'm actually doing something. But it broke the rest of the game. And now they've got a blanket Band-Aid on it until they can figure out how to fix it. So instead of them trying to fix it before they rolled out the 8.0 patch, they just rolled it out, and now everybody's having a freaking conniption fit over it. People should just finish games and then release them after they finish the games. No Man's Sky should have been a game that should have stuck at least another year and a half in closed betas before they let that game out and into the real world. These expansions, they spend so many years in between expansions creating expansions for World of Warcraft. They should have had a bit more going over than they really did have. They should have had those closed betas where there were people who were actually going to do the job of being a beta tester and giving those feedbacks of, okay, this is not working this way, this is not working that way. There should have been that, but there wasn't. They released it in a beta only months before they're going to release the game. And people didn't do their jobs as beta testers. They just wanted to play the fucking game and I'm the first one to play this game. I'm the first one to do this. I'm the first one to do that. Yeah, you're the first one to fuck up is what you did. By not helping make the game better.
Well, hopefully this new expansion that's about to come out will be a little better.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. The new expansion has broken the game already when they released 8.0.
The new expansion's not out yet, though. So they have a chance to fix it before the expansion.
Well, it's already, everything is already out. It's just a matter of when they turn it on. The code has already been downloaded, and the code is what the problem is. Instead of testing it and retesting it before putting it out, they just put it out. Yeah. And I blame those people who went into doing beta testing and not actually testing the game, but just saying that they're the first person to be out there to play the game. I blame those people more than I do Activision when it comes to that. Because I can't even say that it's Blizzard anymore, because it's really not. Blizzard's just a name on the board right now. Blizzard's just a name on a board. Activision is the puppet master right now. And if you're watching this, Blizzard, you can quote me on it. Oh. My damn neck is killing me. Do you guys have tax-free week or tax-free weekend up there in you guys' neck of the woods?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's this weekend for us. I don't know if it is for you guys.
I don't know. I don't do the shopping.
Yeah, we went and got school supplies for the boys. You know, notebooks.
I just make the money. They spend it. I get just enough to survive on. That's about it. Although, now that I got the new truck, I do have a TV and my Xbox One in the truck with me.
Woohoo!
So I have something to do when I'm sitting around not doing anything.
He's got something to watch Pornhub on.
You can't watch Pornhub on Xbox One. That's what the laptop's for. No, but I brought some discs and stuff with me, so I have stuff to play.
Okay, cool. At least you won't be...
Can't play any...
What's that?
I said I can't play any online stuff because, you know, truck stop Wi-Fi sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you can get, you know, far and few in between truck stops that have idle air, and then you can get that, but...
Yeah.
And that's actually decent internet.
No, I have not seen any idle air ones yet.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't. The ones I've been to so far, none of them have had idle air. So, I'm sure they're still out there. I just,
yeah,
I don't know how many of them still use it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like I said, I used idle air quite often. It saves on fuel, it saves on, you know, a lot of things, but it also gives you that ability to have internet. So you can do things on your downtime to actually calm the hell down and relax and be able to wake up nice and refreshed.
Woke up shitty today. Having to get used to a new mattress.
Did they put a new mattress in that truck, or did they just one that was already in there?
Well, it was still in the box. I had to take it out and unroll it. One of those rolled up memory foam things.
Oh,
you there?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. My damn neck is killing me still.
Oh, I thought I lost you for a second.
Nah, bro. I'm here. I was just remembering being out on the road, and you had all those guys who were talking about how they had DVDs for sale. Yeah. And, you know, they would, you know, they'd give you the, you know, discount, and they give you 3 DVDs for like $10. And it probably cost them $1 to make a damn DVD.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I'm so freaking sore. So, what else you got on your end going?
Not a whole lot. Got a new truck. I'm gonna post a couple of pictures of it later. And I don't know. Everything else is still kind of the same. Just waiting on certain things to come along, certain things to be possible to be able to do more IRL streaming.
Okay. Trying to fine-tune the stream stuff. Because I've got a lot of work I need to do to get the start screen done proper. I spent almost 15 hours on it, and then I just deleted everything for it. I got so damn pissed off at it. Somebody posted something to me. No. Okay. Thought somebody had posted something to me. I was gonna get all excited. Somebody talks to me. Oh, so what are your next week looking like?
Not a whole lot so far. I mean, I know where I'm headed with this trip, but after that, I don't know. I'll be home again August 20th, 21st, I think.
Okay.
Headed to Ohio right now.
Ohio. Oh, did you see what was on Humble Bundle Monthly this month?
No,
Sniper Elite 4.
Oh, nice.
That's on there. The Tales of Berseria and Staxel, whatever the name of that damn is. I don't know those two. I just know Sniper Elite 4. Because me and you were playing that one. Oh, and this month they're giving you the ability to either get Rise of the Tomb Raider or the 3 games that they're giving out at the beginning. Last month they had Conan Exiles.
Yeah, I saw that.
On last month's. I'm going back over last month's. Forged Battalion, Pathologic, Wooten, which is a side scroller. Where the hell are the other games? Conan, The Escapist 2, A Hat in Time, and Sudden Strike 4. The Surge. There's some decent games there last month. This month here, like I said, they got Sniper Elite 4, which we both know is a pretty damn good game.
Yeah.
Tales of Berseria and Staxel. I don't know either one of those. Staxels looks like something that Sergi would play. We still need to finish up Sniper Elite 4. So we can go and shoot what's his name in the Nuggets? Hitler. Alright, peeps. Well, if we got nothing else, we're going to go for now. Remember, next week we do have this this information for the 100th episode giveaway. So let all your friends know, have them come out, have them follow the channel and things like that, because it'll be followers of the channel only. And that was Murder, tooting his own horn.
I drove over the lake. Some lady in the pontoon was waving at me, so I honked at her.
I see how you are.
Yep.
You wave at the crazy lady in the pontoon boat. But, yeah, we are out for now. I do appreciate everybody for stopping by. And if you guys have any comments, questions, ideas, hit us up. You can either hit Chris or myself. It doesn't matter. And you can catch us on Twitch. You can catch us on our Facebook pages. We have links to our Facebook pages, so you can hit us up on Facebook. Twitter. I think our Twitter information is down there in the belows. What the hell is that?
It's my idiot driver alarm. It's the front radar whenever someone pulls in front of me too close.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So anytime somebody cuts me off, it starts going off. It's real annoying.
It should go off in their ears, not yours.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alright, so peeps, like I said, you can hit us up. Give us all your informations. If you guys want to, got something of a tech thing that you want us to check out, send us the links, and we will give it a good, once over, and we'll put it on the show. But for right now, we are out. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And it's like I always say, peeps, friends don't let friends game alone. Peace.